Humans can easily move and locomote with the help of the bones and joints in our body. But there are numerous organisms which do not have bones in them. So are they immobile? Are they not able to move? And what about the animals that do not live on land but live in water instead? How do they locomote? Even the flight of birds is a specialized movement that we humans are not capable of. So how are these movements carried out in these different organisms? Let's take a few organisms to understand the movements and locomotion in them. To begin with, we take a small organism like an earthworm. Have you ever observed an earthworm closely? If not, have a look now. This is how it looks. If you look closely, you will be able to spot these rings that cover the entire body of the earthworm. They are the segments that mainly help in locomotion. You will also see the lower side of the body has small bristles. If we zoom in further, they appear somewhat like this. These hair-like small projections are called as setae. Are they like the legs used by us for walking? No, they're not. These hair-like structures are only used to grip the surface on which the earthworm moves. Internally, they are connected to the muscles inside the earthworm's body. Another important component is the slimy substance secreted by the earthworm's skin that help it glide easily. Now these were the parts that help in locomotion. But how does the little creature actually locomote? How do all these segments and setae help in the movement of the earthworm? If we observe the movement carefully, then it appears that the earthworm halts for a while during the walk. However, that's not the case. It does not really halt. It's just the pattern in which the earthworm moves. Since there are no bones in the earthworm's body, it cannot balance its body the way we do. So all it does is fix the parts of its body in alternate fashion. Let's try to understand. If we observe this earthworm carefully while moving, we find that it first fixes its posterior end firmly onto the surface. Next, it extends its anterior, which is the front part of the body. Now it's time to fix the anterior part. It does so and releases the end region. With this, it shrinks its body and pulls its posterior end near the front end. Now the cycle will continue by again fixing the posterior end, extending the anterior end, so on. Such type of movement, that is backward and forward movement, helps the earthworm locomote. It's easy for an earthworm to glide on hard and slippery surfaces. When present in soil, the movement is carried out along with consumption of soil as well. Sounds strange, but the earthworm does relish on the soil, which passes through its body and gets converted to useful organic matter. This soil, when released out of the body, creates manure, adding nutrients to the soil. The movement of an earthworm through the soil also helps in creating pores in it. That gives an added advantage of increasing the aeration of the soil. It's no wonder the earthworm is called the farmer's friend.